Hello, my name is Scott Letourneau, the CEO of NCP and Sales Tax System, and welcome to our special training, Business Liability Insurance Strategy for Amazon.com Non-Resident Sellers. So if you are selling on Amazon.com and you are outside the United States, you've received an email recently updating yourself about new requirements for Amazon's insurance requirements, and you need to get into compliance. You need a certificate of insurance to upload to your Seller Central account very quickly. So we're going to explain to you some of your options and what you can do moving forward and how we can help you out. First, let me cover who I am, how I'm able to help, a little bit of my background just quickly. I have a business finance degree from the University of Minnesota Duluth back in 1989 and moved to Las Vegas in 93. I worked for a company that set up U.S. companies, primarily based here in Nevada. After a couple years, I left and formed my own company in 1997. Did a lot of work with Deloitte & Touche on the multi-state taxation rules about when do you have to register to do business in other states. So we work with a lot of non-residents about U.S. companies and tax requirements. Launched Sales Tax System in 2015 to work with sales tax registrations at the time. Was a big requirement for Amazon sellers. Of course, that's changed over the last year or two. Now those selling their own websites or Shopify have a lot of sales tax compliance. So we work with the best and the best to help you beat the odds in business to be successful. And we like to think multiple steps ahead. That's our skill set. And we work with people that are really experts when it comes to taxation. I've interviewed dozens of CPAs over the years and found the best ones that understand the complexities when you're doing business in the United States, tax treaties, things of that nature, several different tax attorneys, immigration people, legal funding, asset protection. We work with the best of the best as our clients need these resources. Again, my background, business finance. I set up my first limited partnership in college, traded stock options, had a Series 7 license. I worked in the low-priced growth stock arena. I've been an advisor to the multi-tax commission.gov group about sales tax, multi-state taxation issues. I like to say I have a PhD in results. This is a specific area that has some complexities and timing, and I'll show you what we can do to help you out. So I like to take complex information and simplify it. I don't like to simplify it to the point that's damaging. Some people set up an LLC online and just set up the LLC and get an EIN number. That's like buying a car without brakes. As you're zooming downhill, you realize the brakes were an upsell. We don't put you in that position. So I'm the leading U.S. e-commerce expansion and compliance expert. I've been on many podcasts, radio shows. I've spoken internationally over the years on this particular subject. We have many different strategic partners, of which many you'll recognize from Shopify, Payoneer, Sears, Elevate Brands, Peisner Johnson, Wells Insurance, and many others. So let's take a look at your insurance options. So what moves should you anticipate? For most of you, you got the email, you're just thinking about what's the lowest cost, fastest way to get a certificate of insurance to keep Amazon off my back so I keep my account active in compliance so I don't have an issue where my account is suspended and it impacts my sales. So I get where you're at, but we don't want to make, one move forward and three moves backward. So it's almost like chess where you got to anticipate the moves you got to make. And we want to be a grand master in this subject so you really protect your business and your profits. So let's take a look at a couple of the insurance factors that come into play. So the first email went out on August 10th. It was an announcement to the revision of Amazon's A to Z guarantee program. Amazon will now cover claims under $1,000, which is nice. They did note in the email, most didn't see it initially, that by September 1st, you need to have business insurance, provide a proof of certificate of insurance if you had $10,000 in sales in any given month. Prior, it used to be $10,000 in 3 consecutive months. So this is a dramatic change for all sellers, especially new sellers that easily could pass $10,000 in any consecutive month. So they announced the Insurance Accelerator program to help with this task. Their focus was to support U.S. sellers and Chinese sellers first, the two largest groups. And Amazon is enforcing this. They will be sending out, if you haven't received it by now, a second email giving you a 30 to 60 day notice to get in compliance. So many people are thinking to themselves, well, they've had this insurance requirement for years. Maybe they're not serious about it this time. Trust us and other Amazon experts. When they created an insurance accelerator program, they're serious about it because they're offering solutions. So you want to get into compliance. Now, for foreign-based sellers, your options are to consider insurance in your home country, if possible to obtain, if they understand the options for you. Or you can work with a U.S.-based seller. And to work with a U.S.-based insurance seller, they typically will require a U.S. LLC or entity EIN, a U.S. address. It's a real address. So you may be in a situation where you have high-risk products that may impact your premiums and or ability to get insured. Those include children's toys, exercise equipments, and supplements are most common. Sales turnover will impact your ability to insure also. If you have $2 million or plus in annual revenue, some insurance providers will not cover you. So you have to look at some alternatives in that case. Your policy limit should be at least $1 million per occurrence. And there are other platforms that require insurance, so this is a good thing. For example, Target, Wayfair, and Walmart require insurance. So Shopify, it's not required, but it's recommended for product liability insurance, or I should say business insurance that does cover product liability. And here's quickly the Amazon requirements that you've seen, that the at least $1 million coverage also includes product liability coverage for completed operations. Get the insurance policy that's an occurrence form policy. You must work with a company that has an A- or better rating. Have an insurance that covers all sales from products listed on Amazon. Name Amazon.com Service LLC and its affiliates and assignees as additional insured. Ensure that if deductible is included, it should be less than $10,000. Match the company name and address precisely that's on the Seller Central account. So that's an important step. You would upload your certificate of insurance to your Seller Central account. So those are the steps required. Which direction is best for you as a non-resident seller? Well, you can check with an Amazon Insurance Accelerate provider. Do they have a solution for you? Can obtain insurance from your local provider? If it's high risk, does that impact your option? Can you work with a U.S. insurance provider? The requirements are U.S. entity, U.S. address that's a real address, not just a P.O. box, and EIN number. And the key question, of course, is if you go that route to form the entity, you want to work with the experts on that subject, because there are impacts in forming a U.S. company that come into play, especially when you obtain the EIN number at the IRS, you ring that bell. Then there's another set of impacts with updating your Amazon Seller Central account. And you want to avoid any other unknown issues that could come into play here. So you want to avoid having to reactivate your account. You're losing sales because your account was shut down for a period of time. You don't want to get in a position that now you got to provide a U.S. utility bill as a non-resident seller is difficult. We are able to do that if needed when we form the companies, but you don't want to be in that position. You want to do this right. So how can we help? Our recommendation is to schedule a call with our team for your best options to get in compliance quickly. Go to this link here. It's a Calendly link. I'll give you a shorter one here on tinyurl.com, Amazon Liability Insurance. So you can go to https://tinyurl.com/Amazon Liability Insurance. You should go to a Calendly page that looks like this, non-resident Amazon sellers insurance options. You'll schedule a call with our team. We'll see where you're at as far as what the issues are for your situation, what the time frame is, what the notices you might have received recently, and what the time frame is, our fees and prices if we go the U.S. route that we can help you with, and form the legal entity properly, avoid unnecessary U.S. taxes depending upon how your situation is structured, depending upon tax treaties, some other factors. good news is the IRS has made some changes on the length of time to get an EIN number recently, and we do have several bonuses, which include the steps to update your Amazon Seller Central account properly so as not to be suspended and to be in compliance with insurance. So go to the next step, schedule a call with our team at tinyurl.com/Amazon liability insurance. We'll speak to you next and help you get to the next step of the process to get in compliance quickly. Again, my name is Scott Letourneau. Thank you and have an outstanding day.